I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I beat up more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried. I think it is pretty obvious that in this lesson we take a look at My Way by Frank Sinatra. His version, that is. Of course, originally it was written in French, or I mean with French lyrics, of course. Then it was translated into English by Paul Anka, who also performs it and has recorded it, but he did give it to Frank Sinatra. It became a big hit and an iconic song throughout the rest of his career. This was all, I think, in 1968. Yes. Personally, I've always known the version by Elvis Presley a couple of years later, and I do actually touch on his version in this lesson a little bit as well. However, Frank Sinatra's. The song is in the absolute key of D. Let me point out one thing though. The song is, of course, you know, it's with a lot of instrumentation at one point and an orchestra and, you know, a big build up and all that. And now it's just me and my guitar and vocals. So I actually just wanted to put together a simple, easy finger picking, a little bit of strumming arrangement that works for just one instrument and one voice. So that is my goal here. Anyway, so I do like the feel of Sinatra's recording, which is somewhat like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can clearly hear, for example, the bass: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So that is actually easy to copy. So let me talk about the picking already. I simply start out with the bass note, in this case on the 5th string, playing C major here, relative to the capo, keep that in mind. Paul Anka is a half step up in the absolute key of E flat, and Elvis is in C, so take off the capo there. However, relative to the capo, we talk about the shapes there. Bass note on the beat, on the first beat, then a filler note on the 3rd string with my index, 1 and then on 2, I hit the 2 top strings with my other 2 fingers. You're simply here in home position. Then you could play the 3rd string again there, another filler note, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then repeat it, of course, for the other 2 beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and this is actually in general a really nice little pattern to play. But again, this bass note, so now it turns into 1 and 2 and 3. So no filler note at the end of B2. That's basically what it is. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now again, in the chorus, of course, you get this build up. You want to do the same on the guitar, just a little, at least not too much compared to the picking. You got it. It needs to make sense, if you get my point. If you all of a sudden start banging on it while first playing nicely this finger picking sound. So yes, there were times steady motion here. Double time it is, 2 downstrokes for every beat, 1, and even though I do pick out bass notes here and there, if you can, it's really nice to do so. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You could also incorporate still this bass thing there when strumming, whatever you like to do, of course. So we take a close-up look for, well, pretty much everything that I already talked about, and then you should have that. As for the chords, let me point out, well, all of them quickly. Of course, C major, an E minor with a B in the bass, a G minor 6 with a B flat in the bass to A7, then a D minor, a D minor 7 with a C in the bass, G7 to, I mean a G7 with a B in the bass to with a G in the bass. That's already half of the verse. C major 7, C dominant 7 to F, a D minor 7 flat 5 there, then things like a C with a G in the bass or an F6 with a C in the bass, those little things happen. What else is in there? An E minor 7 in the chorus and an A minor 7, and I think I already mentioned all of it. Yes. Alright, now let me point out a little thing about Elvis's version. Indeed, he is in the absolute key of C, so simply take off the capo. There are a couple of little differences there, as in a few of the chords, instead of a D minor 7, it would be an F minor with a B flat in the bass, like so. So actually holding down the same 3 top notes there, but now with a B flat in the bass instead of a D in the bass. Sometimes he, well, not sometimes, he would play an F6 instead of an X6 with a C in the bass. The feel is a little different. Kind of like this. You can clearly hear the piano going. Just a steady flow of 8 notes. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's maybe a tad faster there too, I'm not sure. And now the end is near, and so face the final curtain, my friend, I'll say it clear, well, and so on. In the very last chorus, I very much like that. The feel of the whole thing changes to, what is it, 2 8 notes in a quarter note. All of a sudden you have 3 8 notes in a quarter notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 2 2 3 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and what is a man? Oh well. So yes, that happens. Okay, enough talking here. I already pointed out quite a bit, so maybe you can take it away by just listening to me and compare it to what I've played earlier in the preview. Then you actually might have it already. But of course, if you need more details, things in close-up, more thoroughly explained and all that, then of course check out the lesson. You can find it at totallyguitars.com.